my grandpa's life in the few years that I knew him. I love you a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. This is an overview of what made my Papa Steve one of the most caring people I have ever met in my entire life. I am sharing with you how a man with a brain tumor and knew he was going to die was one of the most selfless, caring, and loving people I have ever met, and I got to call my Papa. I think we can all learn that life isn't forever and we should cherish the moments and be kind to one another. He was always smiling, he was selfless, and he was always a family man to everyone. He made it his goal in life to get people to love life like him also. He was a selfless man. He would do his best to help out anyone he could. There used to be people that would come to our front door and they would ask for money and he would give them a couple bucks and some fresh leftovers out of our fridge, said by my Grandma LaRue. He would give them rides, whether it was just a ride to a store, a friend's house, or church. He believes he was put on earth to help people, and that was his goal in his life. If someone needed help with a project, he would drop what he was doing and go and help them. Whether it was a house project, a car project, or even an emergency situation. As said by my Uncle Paul, about 20 years ago, I called him in the middle of the night during a snowstorm because I had gotten stuck. He told me I'd just have to get ready. And a half hour later, he was there with a shovel and blankets helping me get my car out. When I was visiting, he would often get calls with people needing help. He would drop what he was doing and leave to go and help them. It didn't matter if he liked you or not, he was there to help. There was a man at the church that was very rude to everyone, including your papa, and one day in the middle of winter, his car wouldn't start. Guess who was there to help? Your grandpa, as said by Grandma LaRue. Someone could be the meanest, nastiest person to him, and he would still help you. He believed that everyone had good in their heart. There were times he wanted to relax, but there was always a job or someone in need to attend to. Just like his selflessness, it tied into being a good dad, brother, uncle, papa, and son. He was very much a family man. Family was always taken care of. When I was little, Dad worked part-time at a gas station and full-time on the railroad just to make sure ends would meet while my mom was in school full-time, as said by my mother, Elin. There was no job that was beneath him, whether it was cooking, cleaning, or helping get the kids to bed. He was always cooking homemade meals. Sometimes he would cook all day long. Your grandpa would go around and make sure there was food for everyone before he would eat himself. He wanted to make sure his wife and kids were fed first when we were broke for a while, said by my Grandma LaRue. He was always there for his kids and grandkids. One time we were outside playing jump rope, and he came running out the door onto the sidewalk and jumped with us, as said by my cousin Abby. He once drove to my Christmas concert in kindergarten from Gladstone, Michigan, to Appleton, Wisconsin, in the middle of a snowstorm. He was there every time one of his grandkids were born. He has 6 of them. He would always try to take the best possible care of his family. On top of making sure his family was taken care of, he also had a smile on his face 99% of the time. He always had a smile on his face. I remember Mom and Dad stressing over money. He turned to her, smiled, and said, "Everything will be okay, I promise." Whether it was going to Dairy Flow for an ice cream cone or spending time at the soup kitchen, he was always smiling. Someone could ruin his day, he would walk out of that place with a smile. He made everyone feel happy around him, even in times of stress. When my dad was diagnosed with a brain tumor, everyone was so sad, and I'm sure he was sad too. But he made everyone feel happy and told them not to be sad or scared, as said by my mother, Elin. Even with a brain tumor, he was one of the happiest people I have ever met. When he was happy, it tended to make everyone else around him happy. In conclusion, as I'm explaining my Papa Steve to you, I think about all the people that miss him dearly. including family, friends, and church members. His selflessness, foundation of family, and his smiling face brightened up a room whenever he walked into it, something I will miss most about him. My Papa Steve is now in God's hands, pain and cancer free, and I'm sure smiling down on those he loves most.